Hi, my name is Denise Leduc, and I run a really small press here in Saskatchewan, Lilac Arch Press. I started Lilac Arch Press in 2022. We published our first books the fall of 2022 with books that either I wrote or my daughters wrote. I wasn't sure what I was doing as a publisher yet, and I wanted to make sure I learned before I put other people's work on the line. I started Lilac Arch Press when my mother-in-law was diagnosed with dementia. I did a deep dive into the research of things that help delay the progression of the disease, and one of the things was about keeping the brain active, including reading. However, when I went to look for books that might be suitable for her, I found there wasn't anything quite right. As a former librarian, I remembered that in junior fiction, there's a trend with high-low books, high interest, low reading level. And I thought something like that for older adults might be a good option. And that was sort of the inspiration for Lilac Arch Press. I'm also a writer, so shortly after I started, I had some children's picture books that I was really motivated to publish, so we started our children's picture book line quickly. One thing I want people to know about Lilac Arch Press is, first of all, when I say we're a small press, I always like to say we're a micro press because we are so small. That being said, we do have big dreams, and we are working on publishing 6 different authors in children's picture books right now, and one thing I love is working with new and emerging authors as well as new and emerging illustrators. We do have our 3 Regina authors coming out, so Marie Powell, Allison Lohans, and Stephanie Vance, and we are looking to having some book readings coming up late summer, early fall. We're not sure the dates yet, but I'm so excited about just seeing their works come to life. It's a different experience than being a writer, and yeah, I'm just so proud of their books. It's exciting to see them taking shape from a manuscript, and now all the illustrations are coming in, and it's so fun. So one of our goals at Lilac Arch Press is to really bring in local artists, local authors. We're working with a local editor right now, and that's always exciting. We've got 3 Regina authors under contract right now and a Regina illustrator. So we just want to grow. We want to give creators in Saskatchewan opportunities. We decided to go with the traditional model. So authors will submit their manuscripts, we have a reading period, and then we select a small number to publish, and that seems to be where we want to stick right now. I think the biggest challenge I'm facing as a publisher is because we are a micro press, we have a micro staff of 1, and so just time can be a factor. However, working with a Moose Straw editor, Jamie Gunther, has been amazing. She's doing an amazing job for Lilac Arch Press, and we do work with other people on a contract basis. I think the other big challenge would just be marketing. With the high-low books, it's a brand new genre. Nobody's done it before, so just getting the word out that we have this genre that could maybe benefit people is a challenge. So our high-low books, we use short words, short sentences, short paragraphs. I think they're basically short stories, so anywhere from about 5,000 to 15,000 words. We want heartwarming, happy, and then we've created a formula where each book has 12 illustrations throughout. We hire different artists to just bring that visual aspect into the book. Every book at the end of the chapter has about anywhere from 3 to 6 discussion questions, which are general, so the reader doesn't have to remember what they read in the story, but it pertains to the story. So for example, if there's a garden scene, we might ask, what are your favorite flowers, and things like that. So the aim is to either keep people reading, or it's something they can share with their care partners, or they can be used in a group setting and hopefully spark some discussion. On our 2026 roster right now, we have 6 children's picture book authors that we are publishing, and one thing that super excites me, they're all Canadian authors from Quebec to BC, and we have 3 local Saskatchewan, and then an illustrator that is working on one of those projects. So I'm super excited about that. We've got 2 new high-low books coming out this year, and we have calls for submissions for a bunch of anthologies. In 2023, we did the Winter Happiness Challenge, which was our first anthology, and it was the first book we did that wasn't written by either myself or my daughters, and it was a really good learning experience with working with creators. We had writers, poets, artists, and photographers. So I had so much fun on the anthology, and I'm super excited to do more anthologies. I think the biggest advice I would have to someone considering getting into publishing would be to call Sask Books. And the reason I say that is when I first had this idea, I already ran a small business, a yoga and fitness business, and I had this idea and I thought, I don't know, this sounds wild. And I really didn't know. So I put in a call to Sask Books, and Jillian Bell took my call, and she said, well, we can have a Zoom call, or you could come meet me in person and we could chat. And probably without her support and her sharing of knowledge, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to go forward. So I think Sask Books would be, it's just a must. It has to be at the top of the to-do list for anyone thinking about publishing. It's so worth it. And then I think I would just encourage writers to reach out to Saskatchewan publishers, whether it's Lilac Arch Press or any of the others. Get your work into their hands. Let them see what you're creating. And if you are thinking about getting into publishing, one thing I would say is all the other publishers in the province are super amazingly supportive as well. So I've reached out to many when I have had questions, and they've always been there with answers. And I think the publishing community and the writing community in Saskatchewan is unlike any I've seen anywhere else in the country.